Now to talk more on this developing political situation in Ontario, we are now joined by G.A. Easwar, publisher of Desi News and CanadaBound Immigrant. Thank you very much, Easwar, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. After McGuinty's last night's resignation today, Ontarians woke up to all kinds of political analysis. You know, some saying he may be heading to the federal politics or has resigned to shift attention from the ongoing debate on public sector wage freeze and the controversy surrounding the power plants. But let's take a step back from these rumblings and let me ask you this. What kind of situation is he leaving Ontario or Ontarians in?
The very last impression at 7 p.m. yesterday was that there are about 500,000 Ontarians without a job, and to that we have added the entire Ontario provincial parliament, the legislators there, without a job for the next foreseeable future. And that was the bitter end of what could have been a very nice end to a good political career of Dalton McGuinty. You know, he had a good run. He was a very affable, presentable man. He came across not very aggressive, but at the very end, that the fact that he prorogued the parliament, that came as a bit of a surprise and a needless one at that. And that's what I think most of us woke up to this morning and felt, why did he do it?
Absolutely, it's not yet clear whether the motivation was personal or political.
I think the motivation is political, Kiran, because he probably does not want to answer the questions that are very, very uncomfortable to answer, especially in connection with the cancellation of the two power plants and the subsequent rescuing of the two seats that were very vulnerable in the last election. But that said, the question that remains is, if it was personal, he could have said it. If it was political, then proroguing the parliament was not the answer.
Absolutely. And just sharing on that situation, you know, the reality is that there could be a possible recession next year or in coming few months. And this is the premier who headed the province in some of the most difficult economic times. So is he leaving province at this point as a premier a good decision?
After him, whoever comes, the next premier, sometime in the spring of 2013, will soon be heading this province into the next election, I think, because the questions that have been put away for the next year after the parliament resumes will come up again, and that, I think, will lead to the dissolution of the House and the call for the next election. So we are going to have a provincial election within 1.5 years of the last one. The last one was not that inconclusive. The Liberals were just one short of the number of seats required, and they could have carried on for the next 4 years or even close to the 4-year term. But the fact that they called this election so soon, it's going to be a difficult position for the province to be in, and leave a lot of uncertainties ahead of us.
Absolutely, a lot of uncertainties unanswered, and just last year Ontario had the election, and not sure whether Ontarians are ready for another election, but we'll have to take a leave at this point. Mr. Easwar, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.